Hi, everybody. My name is George Crucci, and I want to teach you how to be the greatest president ever. So, Barack, if you're listening, this message was made for you and for any president who wants to take that spot before me. And the first thing you do as a president is as soon as you're accepted into office, your first thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to write a letter to your media, and you're supposed to write a letter to your newspaper, and you're supposed to explain to them, as the boss of the United States, this is what I'm going to ask you to print, and this is what I'm going to ask you to search for. So, as that president, as the president, you're supposed to say, I want you to look for all the good news. Go out in the world, search for all the good news. I want you to go out there and find miracles. I want you to go out and just anything that's good, anything anybody's doing that's good, and we want it put on the news. We want it in the papers, and we want it in the news. We don't want no negativity, because negative things are what's going in the news now, and it makes it harder for a president to get their job done. Every president before this message from me has been doing their jobs incorrectly, and they've been doing everything out of order. So, to be a good president, you have to access your media. If there's a problem in the world and everything's so bad, why do you continue to allow the negativity to run through the newspapers, and why do they continue to allow it to run through their newspapers? And yet they still try to solve their own problems, but they never access their media or their newspapers, and they never ask them to print the stuff that they were supposed to ask them to print. They failed to do that. So, Merry Christmas, Obama. If you get to watch this, now you know how to be a successful president. You know how to make your job easier now. The other point is there may be some media companies, there may be some newspaper companies that don't want to comply with the boss. So now this is when you're supposed to use your military. Use your military as a police, and then you kindly remove them from their positions. Or you could, you're a lawyer, Obama, hit him with a fine. Be like the police, hit him with a fine, hit him with a fine, hit him with a fine, hit him with a fine. And if they don't comply and they don't pay the fine, then you use your military. That's how you do it. That's how you get the country into a positive state of mind. Nothing can be accomplished in a negative state of mind because there's always disagreements. There's too much disagreeing going on. Now think about it. Everything's negative in the newspapers. Everything in the media's newspaper. All the gossip's negative. And every once in a while, we're getting the good news. Every once in a while, we're getting the good gossip. But right now, the majority of everything is negative. So, as the president, Barack Obama, whoever wants to take the position next, I want to be the president. I haven't got there yet. I'm injured. It's really hard for me to do what I'm doing. So, I'm asking my boss, Barack Obama, if you view this, do as I say, you'll be fine. Within a month, everybody will know you're the greatest president ever. Negative stuff is going to continue, but it shouldn't be entertained. It shouldn't even be broadcast. It shouldn't be, because what happens is, maybe people say they have the right to know, but no, they don't. Because what happens when something negative happens, like in Connecticut, most of that stuff was caused by the negative media, by the negative newspapers. It's put everybody in such a negative mindset that it's so easy for bad things to happen. If you really want to change what happened in Connecticut, you'll take my advice. You'll make sure that the news media and the newspapers are only printing good stuff. If they don't comply, then you have to be a tough boss, and who cares about feelings being hurt? More feelings are being hurt every day while negative news is running, negative newspapers are running, and more feelings are being hurt every day because of this constant negativity that's consuming the whole entire country, the entire world. So, as the president accesses the media, newspapers, puts in all the positive stuff, tells the the media, send your people out, look for all the good stuff and only the good stuff. When the negative stuff happens, it's not to be put in the newspaper. It's not to be put in the media, and it shouldn't even be put on the internet. There should be a total ban from negativity, because only bad things happen with negativity. And when you're trying to do a job and you're not making things positive, it's hard to do your job. So I'm helping the president to do his job correct. And I'm not saying he's not doing his job correct, but the first mistake that he made as president is he didn't access his media. He did not access his newspapers and say, "I'm your boss, and this is what you're going to put out on the newspaper. This is what you're going to put in the media." And when he does that, I guarantee all the people in America are going to see a big change. They're going to see a change in people's lives. They're going to hear good news all the time. They're going to hear, all the good things that happen in life, and it's going to give people hope. It's going to give people, it's going to give everybody happier days. It's going to be easier for everybody to comply with orders. It's going to make everything easier. It's going to make everybody, it basically makes everybody's job easier. It makes it, if there's a bill that has to be passed, and it's less of a fight now. It's more of an agreement, and could you imagine having good news 4 years, for the next 4 years? And then the next president that fills Barack Obama's position, that if he takes my advice, I hope that he asks me to be the next president, because I will continue that. Because the bad thing about allowing other presidents in those positions is they can change it to negative news. But there has to be a point where Americans say, and people outside America say, enough is enough. We're going to only put positive news out there. We're only going to put we're only going to put positive news, positive newspapers. We're not going to tolerate any negativity. If the negativity continues, it's to be on low key. That community in that area will gossip about it. A couple people get a phone call, but only 40, 50 to 100 people are going to be affected by the bad news, not a billion people. If a billion people are affected in a negative way, it makes it hard for anyone to do a job. If 100 people are affected negatively and a billion people are affected positively, it makes it easier for you to stop it. Another thing about being positive is there's so much good to happen with positive news going around, that it just makes everything easier. It just makes easier to go to work. It makes it easier for everybody to have a better day. It's easier for somebody to have a great day and walk down the street and hear positive news. And the way it is today, and the way it's been for the past 40 years, is I'm having a great day today, and then I got to go out and hear somebody talking about Connecticut. I got to hear from somebody in Asia about what happened in Connecticut. Right? That didn't put me in such a good mood, and I was in a good mood that day to begin with. I got rubbed the wrong way by my doctor. So all this negativity is affecting all of us. So if you can just change it, you're the president now, Barack Obama. I hope that the same way you would accept your vice president's advice, that you would honor my advice greater than anyone. Now, this message was created for Barack Obama. It wasn't created for no one else. But if Barack doesn't get this message, it's for anyone that wants to be a good president. That's how you become the greatest president ever. Barack, I hope you get this message. It was created for you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Please give me a better life. Give everyone a better life by taking this advice. That's all I have to say. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. This is the year 2012. I am signing out, and this is my dog Girl, and we all wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a Happy Kwanzaa, whatever else everybody celebrates around, So I'm looking forward to my positive life, Obama. So you're my boss right now. You're the boss of the businesses. So I'm hoping that I'm going to start hearing about the good news. Have a good day.